And we're going to continue on in our Father's Word. This is Isaiah 14, verse 14. I will ascend from the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Satan's coming to Jerusalem. He's going to be riding a white horse, pretending to be God. He's coming to the Dome of the Rock, the synagogue of Satan, where Abraham was going to sacrifice Isaac, but God supplied the ram in the thicket instead. The Dome of the Rock, the synagogue of Satan. Satan's going to be there for 5 full moons. Revelation 9 tells us time will be reduced to 5 full moons. 29.51 days, full moon to full moon, time 5, that's 147.65 days of Satan in Jerusalem pretending to be God. He'll snap his fingers. He's going to make you think he's the real Jesus. He's going to look like Jesus. He's going to act like he's Jesus. But he's going to have the voice of a dragon. And that's what he is. Apollyon in the Greek, Abaddon in the Hebrew. Means destroyer. He comes to deceive and destroy your soul. All you got to do is bow down to him and take his mark. He'll snap his fingers and lightning will come from the air. And he will pretend to be God. And all you got to do is worship him, and he'll give you a car, pay your bills, buy you a new boat. Whatever you want, all you got to do is bow down to Satan, and he'll give it to you. Just like he promised Jesus, the world. All you got to do is bow down to Satan, and he'll give you anything you want. And that's the way Satan's going to deal with it. And it's going to be your question. Have you read this book? Do you know what's fixing to happen? Now this is Isaiah 14, verse 15. Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee, and consider thee, saying, Is this the man that made the earth to tremble, and did shake kingdoms, that made the world as a wilderness, and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners? All the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, every one in his own house. But thou that art cast out of thy grave shall like an abominable branch, and as the raiment of those that are slain, thrust through with a sword, that go down to the stones of the pit, as a carcass trodden under feet. And thou shalt not be joined with them in the burial, because thou hast destroyed thy land and slain thy people. The seed of the evildoers shall never be renowned. Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. For I will rise up against them, saith the Lord of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name and the remnant, and the son and the nephew, saith the Lord. I will also make it a possession for the bittern, and the pools of water, and I will sweep it with besom of destruction, saith the Lord of hosts. The Lord of hosts hath sworn, saying, Surely, as I have thought, so shall it come to pass, and as I have purposed, so shall it stand, that I will break the Assyrian in my land and upon my mountains, tread him under the foot. Then shall his yoke depart from off them, and his burden depart from off their shoulders. This is the purpose that is purposed upon the whole earth, and this is the hand that is stretched out upon all the nations. For the Lord of hosts hath purposed, and who shall disannul it? And his hand is stretched out, and who shall turn it back? In that year that King Ahaz died, was this burden. Rejoice not thou, whole Palestina, because the rod of him that smote thee is broken. For out of the serpent's root shall come a clocates, and his fruit shall be a fiery flying serpent. And the firstborn of the poor shall feed, and the needy shall lie down in safety. And I will kill thy root with famine, and he shall slay thy remnant. Howl, O gate. Cry, O city. Thou whole Palestina art dissolved. For there shall come from the north a smoke, and none shall be alone in his appointed times. What shall one then answer? The messengers of the nation, that the Lord hath founded Zion, and the poor of his people shall trust in it. Now this is Isaiah chapter 15. The burden of Moab, because in the night Ar of Moab is laid waste, and brought to silence, because in the night Ker of Moab is laid waste, and brought to silence. He is gone up to Bajat, and to Dibon, the high places to weep. Moab shall howl over Nebo, and over Medeba, and on their heads shall be baldness, and every beard cut off. And in their streets they shall gird themselves with sackcloth, on the tops of their houses, and in their streets every one shall howl weeping abundantly. And Heshbon shall cry, and Eliah, their voice shall be heard, even unto Jahaz. Therefore the armed soldiers of Moab shall cry out, his life shall be grievous upon him. My heart shall cry out for Moab. His fugitives shall flee unto Zoar, and heifer of 3 years old. For by the mounting up of Lahut, with weeping shall they go it up. For in the way of Horonaim they shall raise up a cry of destruction. For the waters of Nimrim shall be desolate, for the hay is withered away. The grass faileth, for there is no green thing. Therefore the abundance they have gotten, and that which they have laid up, shall they carry away to the brook of the willows. For the cry is gone round about the borders of Moab, the howling thereof unto Eglam, and the howling thereof unto Barim. And for the waters of Dimon shall be full of blood, for I will bring more upon Dimon, lions upon him that escapeth of Moab, and upon the remnant of the land. Now this is Isaiah chapter 16. Send thee the lamb to the ruler of the land from Selah, to the wilderness, and to the mount of the daughter of Zion. For it shall be that as a wandering bird cast out of the nest, so the daughters of Moab shall be at the fords of Arnon. Take counsel, execute judgment, make thy shadow as the night in the midst of the noonday. Hide the outcast, bewray not him that wandereth. Let mine outcast dwell with thee, Moab. Be thou a covert to them from the face of the spoiler. For the extortioner is at an end, the spoiler ceaseth. The oppressors are consumed out of the land, and in mercy shall the throne be established. He shall sit upon it in truth in the tabernacle of David, judging and seeking the judgment, and hasting righteousness. We have heard of the pride of Moab. He is very proud, even of his haughtiness, and his pride and his wrath. But his lies shall not be so. Therefore shall Moab howl for Moab. Everyone shall howl. For the foundations of Karhassus shall be mourned. Surely they are stricken. For the fields of Heshbon languish, and the vine of Sibmah, the lords of the heathen, have broken down the principal plants thereof. They are come even to Jazer. They wander through the wilderness. Her branches are stretched out, and they are gone over the sea. Therefore I will bewail thee with the weeping of Jazer, the vine of Sibmah. I will water thee with tears, O Heshbon and Elitah, for the shouting of thy summer fruits, and for thy harvest is fallen, and gladness is taken away, and joy out of the plentiful field. And in the vineyards there shall be no singings, neither shall there be shouting, The treader shall tread out